You're good, kid. But as long as I'm around, you're second best. You might as well learn to live with it.
There are situations in poker where the right move at the right time can make a huge difference to your bottom line. Today we explain one of the best moves, floating the flop. These days, when a player raises before the flop, you can count on them making a continuation bet on the flop almost all the time. And because most starting hands miss the flop about 2 out of 3 times, you can catch those players continuation betting when they have really weak hands. Floating refers to calling their continuation bet on the flop with the intention of winning the pot by bluffing later in the hand. To float the flop successfully, make sure to remember these 3 things. Number 1. Floating the flop works way better when you're in position because you can pick up on your opponent's weakness if they check to you on the turn. Number 2. This move is designed for heads-up pots, so don't bother trying it if you're up against more than one opponent. And number 3. You'll win way more pots with this move if you use it against weaker players, because they're less likely to bet again on the turn and the river. To float the flop successfully, it's really important to know your opponent. Look for players who are opening a lot of pots and continuation betting on every flop. A lot of players know they should be aggressive, but they have a hard time getting beyond a pre-flop raise and just one continuation bet. Good players, however, are tough, and they won't roll over just because you called the flop and bet the turn. If you do float the flop against a really good player and they bet again on the turn, it doesn't always mean they have a good hand. If you still think they're bluffing, consider raising on the turn. Calling the flop and raising the turn is a really strong line, and you can force even good hands to fold. But remember, this is a dangerous play, and it should only be used when you have a really strong read on your opponent. Visit pokerlistings.com, the all-in poker guide.